Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel At Home with Shell. So in today's video I'll be talking to you about my top 10 baby must-haves. So I'll include things that I'm really glad that I invested in, things that I used every day, and things that honestly I just couldn't live without. So hopefully you will enjoy this. At number 1 I have the Sleepyhead. So this is something that I honestly just couldn't have lived without. I didn't actually buy it until she was born. To start off with, we had a Moses basket, but my daughter just would not settle in it at all. So I'd done a lot of research about the Sleepyhead, but it's quite a lot of money because it's £120. So I didn't kind of want to spend that much money if she slept fine. But after the first few days, I just said to my partner, let's just go out and get the Sleepyhead. So I went and got it, and honestly, it was like one of the best things I ever bought. From the moment we got it, we put her in it at night and she slept for 6 hours solid, which for a newborn mum is just like an amazing amount of sleep, and I'm sure you'd pay a lot more than £120 for kind of that much sleep all in one go. At number 2, I have the Tommy Tippy Perfect Prep Machine. So I was breastfeeding initially, so didn't use this, but when I did start formula feeding, this was an absolute godsend. It makes making bottles up so much easier. So all you need to do is you twist the top bit to how many ounces that you want to make. It only starts from 4. So in those first days you don't really need that much milk, but it goes all the way up to 11, which is really handy. So you just turn the dial to how many ounces of milk that you want to make. The first water that comes out of it is boiling. Then you add your scoops of your formula milk, then press it again, and then that will fill up with cold water. Then mix it all together, and then you've got the perfect temperature bottle. It's just so much easier than having to faff around waiting for the kettle to cool down. Then you need to warm bottles up or cool them down, and you're never quite sure if it's the right temperature. I remember when I had my first, I'd always be putting the water on my hand to kind of check if it was the right temperature or not. Yeah, this takes all of that away. It's honestly an absolute godsend, and if you are planning on formula feeding at any time, this is something I would definitely recommend. Number 3 is the Shnuggle, I think you say it, Shnuggle baby bath. So I know when I had my first daughter, you could only really get the much bigger bath and you'd have to hold them with your arm in the bath. This is much better. So in the early days, you still do have to hold them, but as they get a little bit bigger, it's got this kind of like rest part in here. So the baby can put their bottom in here, and this part's foam as well. They kind of lean against it and stick to it a little bit more. This bath is just fantastic and a definite recommendation from me. Whilst I'm on bathing as well, I wanted to also talk about this little thermometer. So this is a duck thermometer that I got from Amazon, and basically you just tap it and then you put it in the bath and it will show the temperature on here. And what's really good about it is if the bath is too hot, then it will kind of flash red, so you know immediately if it's too hot. So if she's having baths with me, for example, now as well, it's really handy because I can just throw this in the bath and I quickly know whether it's too hot or too cold, because I was really surprised actually at how hot the baby's bath has to be. So a baby's bath should be 37 degrees, and yeah, I was quite surprised how warm that actually is. There's loads of different ones you could get, but I really like this duck one because it kind of doubles up as a bit of a bath toy as well. Number 4 on my list is this Nappy Caddy, which I got from Amazon. I actually got this for my baby shower. I put it on my Amazon baby wish list, and it's absolutely fantastic for keeping all your changing essentials in there. So you've got a section here where you can put all of your nappies in. You've then got wipes, so we use the water wipes. Then I've got some nappy bags, some disinfectant wipes. Then you can put things in here. So I've got some moisturising cream, nappy creams. So I really like the Bepanthen nappy cream, and I've just got some olive oil in here as well, because sometimes she gets quite a sore neck from where the milk kind of drips down, and she's quite a dribbly baby. So I often find putting a little bit of olive oil on really useful. And there's also on this caddy lots of useful sections around the side. So in this side, for example, I've got some little nail scissors and some little nail clippers, and I've got some antibacterial hand wash. I've actually got 2 of these. So we've got one downstairs and one upstairs. What I really like about it is that you can just quickly put it in the cupboard and it's all away. You don't have to be worrying about getting the nappies and then the wipes and then the nappy bags. It's just all kept in one really convenient place, which is fantastic. The next couple of things on this list are all about keeping your newborn baby entertained, because actually when your baby's awake, it's really hard to keep them entertained. At number 5 on my list, you can probably hear the water sloshing around, is this water mat that I got from Amazon, and it's absolutely fantastic. So we've used this water mat since she was honestly about 2 weeks old. She's just fascinated by it. So in it, you literally just put a bit of, you just fill it with a bit of water, and it's got all of these kind of like different shapes. So you've got a starfish in there, you've got a fish in there, you've got an octopus, a duck, and basically when it's on the floor, they just kind of move around, and it's fantastic for doing tummy time. Yeah, we started doing tummy time with her when she was just a few days old, and by about 2 weeks old, she absolutely loved playing on this, and still does now. So it's, yeah, definite buy for entertaining your baby. So at number 6 on my list is a play gym. So again, related to entertaining the baby. So in the first few kind of weeks, they don't really do a lot on here, but they'll still really enjoy just laying under a play mat and just looking at all the kind of bright colours. So this was one that I got from Amazon. My friends from work actually got it for me when I had my daughter, and it's really handy. It's got a kind of little mirror at the top. It's got really bright coloured things hanging down it. Yeah, she would literally spend kind of quite a while just laying under here. So when they are awake, it's fantastic for keeping them entertained in those early days. Number 7 on my list is a swing seat or a bouncer chair. These come in really handy just when you need to put your baby down for a few minutes. So for example, when you're eating dinner or when you need to do a few chores. She absolutely loved it in her swing. This one my sister-in-law actually gave to us, but you can get them from anywhere, kind of any store has them. And from a few days old she went in this, up until very recent, and up until now she's still in it. So absolutely loves it. So the one that we've got, it swings on, so you can put different settings on it, and it also plays music which she really likes. So because it's got the kind of the little toys hanging from it, she absolutely loves that, and we'll just kind of watch them, and then as she's got a bit older, she keeps trying to hit them as well. I know there's a lot more expensive ones out there. You can get the ones that kind of rock all round, which I don't really think is worth the money, because they're only really using a seat like this for a matter of months. So I wouldn't spend too much money, because you can get some really fantastic ones for around the £30–40 mark. Number 8 is a sling or a baby carrier. So again, this is another thing that I didn't actually buy until she was born. I knew I wanted one, but I think it's really important that you actually try the baby in it, so you know kind of how it fits and things. The one that we've got at the minute is actually my 3rd one, so that just shows you how much you actually end up changing your mind. If I know a lot of places do what's called a sling library, where you can go to either an actual library or village hall or something, and there's various different slings that you can try on. So if there's something like that near you, then that's definitely worth looking at. But I got all of mine from Mothercare, and they were really good at actually letting me buy them, and then I'd bring them home, try them out, and then take them back, and they were fantastic. So they're really handy, especially in those early days where your baby can be kind of quite needy and doesn't necessarily want to lay down a lot, kind of can't sit there or anything. So it's quite handy to have them in a sling, and then you've still got 2 hands to be able to clean or make dinner or whatever it is you need to be doing. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting a sling. They're also really good when you're out and about. because sometimes if you're going on a walk, it's not always like the best terrain to necessarily take a pram with you. So putting the baby in the sling can be really useful. It's also proven that if the baby is in a sling kind of next to you, then they're about 60% less likely to cry, which I suppose makes sense when they're kind of that close to you, and when they're newborn, they're so used to being with you all the time. That it's a really handy way of soothing them too. Number 9 on my essentials list is a grow egg. So this you get from the Grow company, and what it is, it's essentially a little egg that tells you the temperature in the room, which is really handy when you've got a newborn baby, because you constantly worry what the temperature is and you never know whether they're too hot or too cold when they go to sleep, what to put them in. So this is really handy. What it does is it displays the temperature across here, and then this kind of changes colour depending on the temperature in the room. So if it's cold, it goes like a kind of bluey colour, and the warmer it gets, it goes like a red colour. So when it's like an orangey yellow colour, that's the perfect temperature. So we've just got one of these, and we have it in the living room during the daytime, and then we take it upstairs with us at night. So I think the Lullaby Trust recommend that the nursery temperature for them sleeping at night should be anywhere between 16 and 20 degrees. Having something like this is really handy to know what the temperature in the room is. What's also really good when you know the temperature is on their website they have this like table. So for example, if it is 20 to 22 degrees, then they should be sleeping in a 1-tog kind of growth bag, sleeping bag, with a short-sleeved or long-sleeved bodysuit. So again, it's so handy using this. So if you just search online Grow company what to wear, then you'll find this handy little table which you can download, and then depending on what the temperature is, you know exactly what you need to put your baby in. The final thing on my top 10 must-haves is something that might not be for everyone, but for us was something that we used every single day and was a lifesaver in the early stages, and it was Gripe Water. So my baby, when she was first born, she was really windy. She'd pull her legs up quite a lot. You can tell she was in quite a lot of pain with her tummy ache. I tried various things. I tried Dentinox, I tried colic relief, I tried loads of things and nothing seemed to work. And then it was actually my mum that said to me about trying Gripe Water. So yeah, I just went to the shop, bought some Gripe Water, and it was a lifesaver. As soon as I used it, within about 5 minutes, she would either do a big pump or a really big burp, and it really helped settle her. We don't use it so much now, but for the first couple of months, we definitely use Gripe Water, and we would just use one of these little syringes to put it in. So we'd only give her a small amount, so we'd only give her about 2.5 mils. But yeah, this was a lifesaver. So if you have got a particularly windy baby, colicky baby, or they're pulling their legs up a lot, then I would recommend trying Gripe Water. So it was really hard to choose the top 10, but what I tried to focus on were things that I kind of didn't really know about that much, things that really I just couldn't have lived without in those first few kind of weeks and months. There's obviously a lot of other things that you need having a newborn baby, so things such as, you know, a pram, a car seat, a cot, when they get a bit bigger, bottles, sterilisers, everything like that. But in today's video, I just kind of wanted to pinpoint those top 10 things that I just couldn't have lived without in these first few weeks. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video and it gave you a bit of inspiration about the types of things that you need and maybe what it's worth kind of spending your money on for your newborn essentials. So if you have liked it, I'd love you to give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to see in your comments down below any kind of newborn essentials that you really couldn't have lived without.